Yeah. I would love to play the Judgment games,
Ah, same.
but they're not on PC at all. I'm like, ah.
At least the Yakuza series is on PC.
Yes, which I yet again have not finished. Oh, I'm so bad. Alright, so I'll read the first hour and then you take over the second hour.
Okay.
As it turns out, the night isn't done with me yet. Because no sooner has the porter closed the door behind me, I find myself standing alone in the foyer with one Luke Wright. Oh yeah, this is after the party where his mistress was like, "You knocked me up."
Yeah. You're still trying to beat Yakuza 7?
I'm blind to that one because I've been following along with Nico B. So I have no idea other than the fact that Yakuza Zephyr is the one that they don't have the traditional type anymore, right? It's like a different kind of game.
Yeah, it's an RPG instead of a beat 'em up.
Yeah. Should be interesting. But
Also, I
I don't know.
didn't follow Nico B since a long time.
I don't watch him every time. I just watch certain series from him. Anything Yakuza, I'll watch from him. Anything Ace Attorney or Danganronpa, I'll watch from him. The only Ace Attorney I didn't watch was the Great Ace Attorney because, I'm playing that blind.
Yeah, I not up to date with the episode, so I'm far behind.
Well, the fifth case seems to be taking a long time. So I just recorded the episode today where uh, we finished part 3 of the investigation, and there's one more part. I'm like, what? More investigating?
Yes. Also, when I said I'm behind, I'm referring that I'm behind Nico B's videos, not on yours.
Oh, okay. Good to know. No sign of Hana or Zachary because they're out dancing in the yard,
Mm-hmm.
having their cute little flirty moment.
Yes.
Just him and the agitated clicks his shoes make while he treads around the empty room. Away from the media's prying eyes and their guests' judging stares, it's easy to glean how much this scandal has him shaken. Not to the point where he has utterly lost his composure, he appears to have mastered himself enough not to. But an ample opening is there for a nervous edge to show on the lines of his shoulders.
What do you know?
The man is not as tough as he makes himself out to be. Sure, I've seen this before, briefly, in that 1 second in the hallway at school. It's a strange matter, however, to witness this out in the open. Behind closed doors, this is the real Luke Wright. Though maybe that's because he hasn't noticed my presence yet, busy as he is with his thinking. If he's aware, I doubt he'll be acting like this. His pride is one thing he will always wear with him. Even now, when I place a gentle hand on his shoulders and he whirls around to face me. There's a second-long moment of anger flashing across his features before it dissolves into confusion. He tucks it away as quickly as he can, but it does nothing to change the impression I've built of the man in my head.
Daisy, must you be everywhere?
We've only met 3 times, Luke. Quit the dramatics. Besides, shouldn't you be aware of who gets invited to your party?
If I was, there wouldn't be any of that scene tonight. That munter wouldn't even get an inch within this property. I'd better off Luxborn if I could.
Munter.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Yeah.
Not sure I want to know what that means.
Yeah, me neither.
He probably pawns everything off to their servants in Hana. Pompous, elitist douche.
Did you just come out here to lecture me about it? Because, Daisy, I can already feel one coming tomorrow. I don't need to hear one from you tonight.
You are a very unpleasant man.
So I've been told. Will that be all? If so, I suggest you go back and join every bloody goss in that room.
Not everything. As unpleasant and frustrating talking with this man is, he deserves the benefit of the doubt at least. Does he, though? The questions and criticisms aren't lacking, of course. But right this instant, there's only one that comes to mind. Is it true? Oh, I don't think he would like that. But yeah, you should be with your wife.
Yeah, save first.
Yeah.
You know, brooding over here isn't going to fix this mess.
Ah, he liked that.
Yeah.
Again with the lecture.
Will you stop calling it that?
Very well, what should we call this then? A heart-to-heart? Please don't, I might puke. And just so you know, I don't want to talk about feelings. Ever.
This isn't one, all right? It's just a friendly concern. Bloody hell, can't you just take it for what it is?
He pauses at that. Suddenly, he doesn't know what to do with his hands, and in the end, he simply stuffs them back to his pockets and sulks. There probably aren't many people who tell him that. He's a difficult man to get along with, after all. He doesn't have friends.
Yeah. Like me. Hehe.
That's not true, Sign. You have lots of friends.
Of course, I have you.
Yes, I count for at least 3. I honestly won't give him a second of my time if I didn't see a different side to him. Dealing with him requires more than patience. When the awkwardness passes, mostly coming from him, he merely glances away. But the tightness in his shoulders has eased, and when he speaks again, despite his rather rude choice of words, none has any venom in it.
Friendly concern, right. While we're at it, I should mention that Hana used to call that Viper friend. Now I think she might want to strangle the Munter if she sees her again. After she's done with me, of course.
I doubt she's going to do anything like that.
What do you even know about this?
Oh, I know enough. You may look like a sleazy douche, and you still are, by the way.
It's almost comical how fast his face shifts from mild disdain to offended, but I don't let it distract me. These things need to be said, and he needs to hear them. Even though they're coming from some meddling stranger.
But you have your few good moments. I might even say that you're a decent person, if I'm in the mood. Now go. If you really love her, you've got to try and fix this yourself.
Maybe tomorrow.
Luke.
Daisy, did you see her earlier? Was that the face of a wife who wants to have a chat with her cheating husband?
Well, at least you admitted you did something wrong. Good for you.
So he admitted that he did cheat.
Yeah.
How about a star? Would you like a star to go with that good deed?
Don't get used to it. Do you realize how awkward this is?
Oh, I do.
Before I've even thought about what to say, I've known there can only be 2 ways this can go. All things considered, it isn't as bad as I've assumed. However, there are still some things my brand of encouragement can't fix. His marital problems, first and foremost, his attitude follows right after. Concerns aside, I can't help with those. Those are things only he can fix, and it's definitely not by standing around here bantering.
Don't worry, I was just about to leave. Feel free to continue with your brooding once I'm gone. I'm not going to tell anyone. Cross my heart.
You think this is funny, Daisy?
Laughter is the only response I give him. Oh, TLDR, stop sulking. That's the achievement.
So long did I read.
Yep. With a slight wave of my hand, I end it right there and walk away. Although I can't resist the urge to glance back before I leave, if only to have one last look at the man he really is. But the instant I turn my gaze on him, I see it. Oh no.
Oh,
Well, there she is. She looks weirder than usual.
yeah. And look how she's hugging him.
I tell you, she seems very possessive of him. We should just give him to her and then the rest of us can go free. Looming, hovering over his shoulders, drawn to him like a moth to a flame. Like the first time I've stepped inside this place in search of Isabella. He was there too, wasn't he? That man, along with his wife and another person, Miss McCullough. And that shadow. No, a woman now. Her, no longer a dark blur. Terror rushes through every vein in my body. A crippling sensation gripping every part of me while she stares at me with a glare filled with nothing but hate and venom. It's like staring at the eyes of a woman I've unknowingly robbed of something precious. I tried to say something, a warning, but before I can gather my wits and voice it out, someone shuts the door behind me. As if to keep outsiders away from the secrets this mansion possesses. Creepy.
Mhm.
Okay, she was about to leave the party. Rebecca caught sight of a sulking Luke. She reminded him that brooding wouldn't fix anything and that he should be with his wife instead. Before leaving the embarrassed man, Rebecca caught a glimpse of a shadow standing behind him. The brush of fresh air against my cheeks does little to dampen the chill in my bones. By now, the sensation, the fear and disquiet it leaves whenever I see her, is familiar enough for me. Already it has made a home in my nerves. I don't even notice my trembling hands until I cross my arms across my chest. The cold from the tips of my fingers seeps through the thick material of my shirt. Neither of it helps bring together some semblance of coherent thought in my head. But I know I should.
Someone has to tell that douche.
I start walking back before fear can cripple me again. It's not wise. Returning, that is, especially after what happened. But Hannah's still an old friend, and Luke doesn't deserve whatever misfortune that letter might bring. I can't just leave those two in there. Isabella's right. She's real, and there's something she wants from everyone who has read that.
Becca, where'd you go off to?
Oh.
If you're done here, let's go. I'll get you back to the city.
My mistake. The second his voice cuts through the crisp night air is that I've allowed my annoyance to get the better of me. Fuming, purpose forgotten, I whirl around and march towards him. Oh, so you let Ash distract you from warning Luke about the ghost. Great.
Yeah.
Priorities, Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
One accusation after another piles up at the tip of my tongue, ready to be hurled at any moment. There's no hesitation holding me back when I fling it at him. That straight face he keeps as I do so doesn't help temper my anger either. It only makes me want to slap some more sense into him. She's really overreacting.
Mm-hmm.
But this is how she is when it comes to him, I guess.
Yeah.
Shouldn't I be the one asking you that?
Becca, I've been waiting here the whole time. I told you I hate parties like...
Oh, they skipped half of the line. Huh.
Yeah. I was
And before
wondering
that,
that.
where have you been the entire evening?
Right then and there, I might have forgiven him if he'd shown some ounce of remorse for leaving me like that. Maybe he could have looked away, given me a sign that my assumptions might be right. He doesn't even need to put them into words. A single gesture of confirmation is all I need. Rather, what I get is the same impassive look. He does that whenever he can't disclose anything. Clearly, this is related to his work.
Hmm?
He does that whenever he's lying. In the face of it, amidst the thick tension, a frustrated huff is the only thing I can summon.
Be that way. Fine. Suit yourself.
No more words. After everything I've seen and heard tonight, I'm already too exhausted for those. So, without speaking any further, I simply walk past him and stomp over to his car. Not over his car. Although before I can pull open the door, he calls out, one hand outstretched, a gentle weight on my shoulders.
Now
Wait,
I'm
Becca.
now imagining Rebecca stomping over.
Over his car.
Yeah, like how a certain someone from V3 is stomping on desks and whatnot.
I can't remember who you're talking about.
The protagonist.
Oh, because we slapped Dusks.
Yep.
Oh, so for V3, Coco got to the first trial and she pretty much got to the midpoint where we found out who the killer was, but now we just have to prove it.
Oh God. I
Yeah.
still need to catch up.
The feels.
Oh,
The feels.
yeah. Hulk smash.
Rebecca's like, you won't like me when I'm angry. He pauses, his brows furrowing and lips curving into a slight frown. I can almost see the gears turning in his head, while he tries to piece together everything he wants to say. Before, perhaps, I might have waited patiently for those. He's not a man fond of using words to express himself. More often than not, any gesture of honesty will only come out blunt and coarse when forced. But today, for one reason or another, I simply can't summon that forbearance.
Ashton, if you're just going to waste my time again,
Becca, listen. I don't know how else...
that much is obvious. Why don't you just take the whole bloody night? Go on. I can wait until next year.
Oh, Rebecca, stop.
Better yet, why don't you just keep it all to yourself like you always do? It's not like...
Rebecca, will you hear me out first?
The silence I can offer him, but whether I'll believe what he's about to say is still up for debate. A very long debate.
I honestly don't know how else to put this. I'm aware your parents have some kind of history with Hana Wright, and somehow you're friends with her. But you should stay away from these people for now. Especially the husband.
Who? Luke?
His expression deepens into a scowl at my mention of the name, but whatever opinion he has, he doesn't immediately voice. Still, something about it has greatly displeased him, evident in the stiff note his tone assumes.
Yeah, he's bad news.
It's my turn to frown this time. What does he mean by that? Okay. What does he have to do with this, or care to explain your reasons? I'm thinking the bottom one.
Yeah.
Care to explain your reasons?
Yeah, Ash like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've not meant for it to sound as harsh as it does, but anger and frustration have never been a good match in me, particularly in nights like this. It's not surprising when Ashton jerks back as if I've struck him. I don't think what we said was that bad. So him being hurt is kind of weird, but okay.
Maybe at first.
Because it said he liked that, though.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't expecting it to come out like that.
I guess. For a fleeting moment, something akin to hurt darts across his features, his eyes narrowing and hands closing in tightly into a fist at his sides. Then, swiftly, he glances away and shifts his focus on the line of trees nearby, like an answer can be gleaned from the dark expanse.
I'm really sorry, Becca.
What is it for? For the party? The vague answers he continues to give? Does it include all those times before this? The year's worth of it? I don't doubt its sincerity. However, at the moment, the forgiveness he's asking isn't something I'm all too willing to hand, furious as I am. It's frankly a wonder how I can keep myself from raising my voice at him. Hey,
And
Smooth. What do you mean, Bacardi? Uh-oh. It's a little early for rum, buddy.
We'll talk about this tomorrow. And you better have a proper answer for me by then.
There's a brief hesitation before I step away. A short moment of wanting to say more, of waiting if he has anything to add. He's only silent, eyes still trained at a distance.
It's never too early.
Well, if you're going by Sign's time zone, it's a good enough time.
Yeah, it's almost 9 p.m.
It is the last glimpse I see of him. Did I skip a line? I don't remember if I said that. He's only silent, eyes still trained at a distance. Maybe I did say it, I don't know.
I don't remember either.
It is the last glimpse I see of him before I climb inside his car. If the door slams closed with the same force as the anger I'm holding, its sound merely vanishes into the night unnoticed. Okay, just about them having the argument. He wouldn't give her an answer. Okay. He follows soon after, and shortly we're on our way back to the city. And of course, you forgot about the ghost again.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, even with the city's bright lights welcoming us, the dense, somber air from the mansion still lingers. The moon is almost at its highest by the time we reach Salemwell. Even after our respective heads have cooled off, the atmosphere within the car remains rife with unspoken tension. This isn't a problem so easily fixed with a few handshakes. Quite frankly, I don't know what will. Ashton himself has no idea what to do when he alights and dawdles awkwardly in the middle of the car park, unsure. It almost seems like he's having an internal debate, whether he should say goodbye or mutter another apology. I could have driven him away, purely out of spite, the second I've gotten off. Still, old habits die hard. A firm handshake can solve anything, though? Are you being nasty or are you being serious? It's
I
late,
don't always smooth.
right? I don't know when it comes to smooth. It's late and Ashton's flat is on the other side of the city. Irritation might still rear its head every time I look at him right now, but I'm not too cruel to put him up on another long drive. Especially when he still appears as if he hasn't gotten any rest.
You can borrow the couch.
I throw the keys to my flat his way before a protest forms on his lips. Although he catches it with ease, he eyes it with a worry expression and shoots a puzzled glance my way.
You haven't been forgiven. We're still going to have that talk, believe me. But I'm not about to send you out on another drive looking like that. It's late. Go get some rest.
We're setting aside a lot of loose ends like this, but he appears to have accepted that reason, at least in the meantime. He does give me another questioning glance when I shove past him, pulling my mobile in the process.
Where are you going? I thought...
You go ahead upstairs. I need to contact Professor Andrew.
Andrew? Why would you... Oh, no. Please. Is this that thing Isabella said this morning? Again? I already gave her my word, Becca. I'll look into this BRC crap. No need to drag the old guy into it.
Of course, he's still skeptical. It makes one wonder if he's even seeing anything at all. Figures this curse will stay away from the scoffer. But this is another loose end tonight that I can't just leave alone, Ashton's beliefs notwithstanding. It just so happens that it's one I can delve into using means other than taking a look at the mansion itself.
Ashton, do you really think I still give a shite after that stunt you pulled tonight?
No, but this is...
I've spent so many years with him to know this is about to turn into another argument. Before he can finish it, I cut him off with a firm raise of my hand.
Look, I don't care. There are weird things happening around here. And yes, it's Isabella's brand of weird. Ghostly voices, strange sounds, and a bloody woman sitting at the back of my car.
Yes, tell him.
You don't have to believe me. And I no longer have the patience to convince you, so just leave me be, Ashton.
He doesn't push it, growing quiet instead, although I know he has a whole case of it prepared inside his head. But there's a reluctant shift in his movement when he steps away from our conversation. Short of climbing the stairs, he stops, turns to face me with an expression almost too... conflicted?
Are you really sure?
What?
That there was something? That you've been, seeing things?
Yes, I'm very, very certain. Now go. And you better not break anything in there. The last time I let you stay over, it was that statuette Belle gave me. You haven't even replaced that one.
Oh god.
The last of my reprimand goes both unheard and unanswered as he disappears behind the stairs. If things aren't as strained, he might have a quip or two about that, followed by a light banter. Instead, for a long moment, I'm left staring after him. There's something in the way he asked it that nags. Coupled with his expression, the whole exchange just feels unsettling. One that doesn't fade even as I gather my thoughts and shift my focus on another, even as I dial Professor Andrew's number. And that is when it clicks. During the long wait for the professor, one stray thought emerges from the unease. Ashton has not intended for his question to be a jibe. It's concern. For what, though? For my well-being? The letter's curse? The woman I mentioned? Maybe he finally saw her? The answers for those will have to wait, however. Finally, the call connects and Professor Andrew's voice echoes from the receiver.
Professor Andrew?
Rebecca? It's late. What can I do for you?
I know, I'm sorry, but this is a bit urgent.
After all, this is a more pressing matter. Our lives might be at stake and we're still in the dark.
Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you to do me a favor.
Oh, alright.
Keep in another day.
Yeah. I think we're getting closer to the end of Rebecca because we usually end around the 31st, right?
Either 31st or 1st of November.
Which we still haven't seen anything for, so...
Maybe later with either Ashton or Luke.
yeah. Professor Andrew Clark has agreed to meet with me 2 days later in front of Luxborn's public library. He has other commitments, but being a longtime family friend has its perks. I have my parents' connections to thank for that. Of course, I'm not the sort to impose on him often, but the situation is... well, it's not entirely bad, although it does require calling in a few favors from friends like him. Without his signature, I won't be able to gain access to the library's restricted section. Ooh. If I want to get more in-depth information on the Ermengarde mansion, that is, not simply what they choose to show to the general public. As much as I hate to admit it, there's always something people censor, and whatever it is, I won't ever find it in the general section. Makes you wonder why there even is a restricted section in the library, you know?
Maybe for the forgotten... No, wait. Not forgotten. Forbidden books?
I guess? It's just weird.
You mean the naughty section?
Maybe. I would be very surprised if a library had like an actual naughty section, though. It has to be what they're keeping here, beyond the public eye. The thought of that alone makes me antsy. Thankfully, I don't have to brood over it. The wait for the professor doesn't last long. He never did enjoy making people wait. Likewise, he dislikes people who are tardy. He arrives 5 minutes after I do, greeting me with that kind smile and casual wave of his hand. He seems nice. I haven't seen him in so long, but it appears he hasn't changed much. His familiar presence alone is enough for a fond smile to spread across my face.
Professor Andrew.
Rebecca.
He's the judge when he was younger.
I mean, he looks a little too intelligent and well put together compared to our good old judge.
Yeah.
Didn't I say long ago you can drop the professor?
You know I can't possibly do that. Even if I can, it feels disrespectful to call you by your name alone.
Both you and Ashton never listen to this old man. Kids these days.
All right, but just for today, since you're doing me a huge favor, Andrew.
I guess you simply can't have it all, even at this old age.
Why does the voice actor for him sound so young and like he's trying to sound older?
Mm,
It just sounds weird to me.
yeah, like how a certain someone tried to do a kid's voice.
Oh, for Kylie?
Yeah.
Ugh. That voice drives me crazy.
But pleasantries aren't what we're here for, yes? You mentioned you needed a permit.
Yes, sir, if that's okay with you.
More than fine. Anything in pursuit of knowledge, as they say.
He hands me the permit without further prompting. Luxburn City Archives authorization slip. Okay. And just like he promised, he's also written a recommendation after his signature. This is more than enough to get me to those files. I mutter a small thanks before slipping it into my pocket. Although when I look back up, his brows are furrowed, the very face of curiosity. Not surprising, considering how vague I've been during our little talk over the phone. Right then and there, I've decided to tell him if he ever asks. Maybe not all of it, but stuff he needs to know. It's the least I can do to thank him. As expected, true to his inquisitive nature, he asks,
If you don't mind, though. I know you've always been an eager learner, but may I know what in the restricted section that piqued your curiosity?
It's the Ermengarde mansion, sir.
He's quick to raise an eyebrow at that, and for a while I fear he'll take the slip of paper back. Is there something in what I said?
The ones they have out in the general isn't enough?
I'm, hoping for a more in-depth read, sir. More about the history and the people who once lived there. The general section doesn't have anything much on that.
Oh, I see. Well, you certainly aren't the first one to be enamored with that place. It doesn't shock me. The architecture is admirable, and the urban legends are something to talk about.
I think enamored might be a little too much to describe our interest in it. But I have to agree. The mansion is beautiful, even with the renovations. They kept the stained glass windows, too. They are magnificent.
Oh, you've seen it.
I was there for a few hours to attend a housewarming party. The invitation was for my parents, but they couldn't make it. My mum used to work as a private tutor for the Evans. Hannah Wright?
Ah, I know of her. Her husband, too. Who doesn't? Luxborn's most popular couple.
Something falls behind his eyes, the warmth in them suddenly gone, like he's reliving a painful distant memory and seeing it play right in front of him. Ooh, lore!
Hmm.
It disappears almost as soon as it surfaces, but that look has unsettled something in me.
Is something the matter?
Nothing much. But you know, you're already like a daughter to me. So if you could, do be careful with the friends you make.
Is this about the rights, sir?
Just a friendly advice from an old man. Don't think much about it.
That's not good if both him and Ash are warning her away from them.
Yeah, something's up.
Anyway, I have to leave now. Can't miss my weekly serving of bear claws. Say hi to your parents at the detective inspector for me, will you? I wish you luck with all that research.
I will. Thanks for this, Andrew.
Andrew gives my shoulder a light squeeze, the gesture a younger me has always appreciated, and quickly crosses the street after. I watch him until he disappears behind the door to a cafe, until the doubts swimming inside my head finds a moment to rest. Whatever his business is with the rights isn't anything I should concern myself about. But somehow, in the grand scheme of things now, all of it feels oddly relevant. The how, though, I've yet to find out. And I'm hoping the library will give me the answers I want this time. On a gloomy Sunday morning, the library is especially empty. The second floor in particular. I've always considered this place to be sanctuary, a respite away from the hubbub of the city. As a child, I grew up reading books here, spending hours here to no end, poring over the pages, living out fantasies in my head until my parents called me home. Now it feels nothing like it. The silence is smothering, suffocating. Even with how clean they've kept the microfiche room, how the entire small of it lacks a speck of dust or clutter, breathing is a struggle for air. Not far into my stay, I begin to long for the noise outside, and perhaps as a way to calm this unease, I start to hum a tune. Imagine that. Oh no.
Oh no. Why this?
The same song that Kylie was singing. Why? That's creepy.
Nothing the same.
Mm-mm. Why, of all things, it has to be that silly nursery rhyme. I've not an inkling.
See, even she is wondering that.
That's creepy. It does its job, however. It fills the lull with something far less awkward, far less deafening, and that is enough for a distraction. Wait, low-key I came to this creepy stream because Binks threatened to tell everyone about my sock puppet collection? Smooth. Congrats, you just played yourself and told us all about your collection on your own.
You have a sock collection? What?
Knowing him, it has 50% chance of being true and 50% chance of being a lie.
Yeah.
You know, Smooth, I'm starting to think you remind me a little too much of Kokichi, of all people.
I was thinking the same.
Right? Like, you never know when it's the truth or when it's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you know she is coming. Yeah, I feel like that song was just a hint. Like, yeah, she's coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
I have business here. No time for silly daydreams, only important work to attend to.
I was just about to say it's a lie.
Oh, I knew it. We know you too well, Smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Even if there's a possibility of it being fruitless, by some means it feels like I have to do it. If not for me, then for the people who has been affected by this... What do we even call this? A haunting? A Halloween prank gone wrong? A curse? If Isabella were here, what would she say? Will she panic? Will she be angry I only listen to her now? It all stems from that one moment in the movie house, doesn't it? We could have avoided this had we only taken her warnings to heart. One stupid mistake is all it took to send our normal lives on a downward spiral. Frankly, I'm no longer sure if I'm angry at myself for it, or at the universe for throwing us into this mess. But we can only make
The
do.
writers, or the writers for writing this game.
Right? But we can only make do of what little we have, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Going here might not be the right decision, but it's a start.
A good start.
It doesn't take much time for me to find what I need. A microfiche of old newspapers, long kept in special storage cabinets at the far end of the restricted section. The The year is 1620s and beyond. Before the city of Luxborn ever even exists in the records, when the mansion has just been built, and Anslum is nothing more but a small sleepy hamlet near a river. A lot of pieces are missing, days, sometimes several consecutive weeks without any records remaining. Often it goes on for years. Troublesome, but as it is, I'm lucky enough to find anything at all, considering how far I'm looking back. Can't be picky now. Can't waste time mulling over what record keepers of the old could have done to make this a breeze for me.
I can still work with this.
The faint whir of the microfiche machine keeps me company as I go over each slide, each image, hoping for something that goes beyond what the local lore knows. There are snippets, little mentions of the family that once settled in the house here and there. The usual singing of praises for the couple who helped brought up what was once a tiny settlement into a bustling town. Nothing substantial, nothing I didn't know before. It goes on like this for a good while, until I come by the years after their deaths. The people of Anslum might have loved Lord William and Lady Elizabeth Ermengarde, mourned their passing, and held them in high esteem in the years after. But it was their daughter that was remembered fondly by the townspeople. If her parents built this town, Lady Charlotte was the one who made it prosper. Remarkable, considering it was a period of recovery from a bout of plague that killed half the town's population, including her parents. Oh, achievement unlocked, buried history. Alright. Oh boy, what is this? Is she naked?
Oh.
What's surprising though, free at last. Heir puts a stop to local slave trade. Oh no! Is that the ghost?
That explains many things.
Yeah. Apparently, her time also marked more than superficial changes to the place. She moved things, changed laws, altered old customs and traditions. If they were done on a woman's whimsy, it doesn't say, but she seems capable enough for more than that. The gist of it is, the town she rebuilt, it's what eventually grew to become Luxborn City, while the nearby Anslum village remained as it was, a relic of the old. A frown swiftly forms in my face.
So, why is there a need to hide this?
One by one, I try to recall every lesson I've gone through, every book, paper, and journal I've read. None of those ever mentioned this. It's always the lord and the lady of the house, their endearing child, always an afterthought to those anecdotes, the one who always took her life in the end. Never someone who restored a town from the brink of collapse or brought new ideas to it. Is it because she's a woman?
That pisses me off.
Granted, not everything is sunshine and rainbows. Not all aspects of her can be considered admirable. But this is history. Some parts are bound to naturally delve into unpleasant territory whether I like it or not. Ooh, no. Oh no. I think
That
that's...
explains.
Yeah, that's the same girl she rescued from slave trade, right? Oh boy.
That explains many things.
Yeah, why she's super angry. Why she's come back to hunt all of us down. Oof. Witch hunts, for example, became common near the end of her life. Luxborn witch burns. Which would have been completely unremarkable and might have gone to become a mere footnote in history if it didn't involve Lady Charlotte and the very slave she saved. It caused quite a stir, enough to leave almost a week's worth of clippings. The girl was eventually burned, condemned by an entire town. At the word of Lady Charlotte alone. Oh boy. Doesn't Lady Charlotte look like Hannah a lot too? Because I believe she's the one who's in the house, like in the stained glass, the blonde hair one.
Maybe that's why she attempted to strangle her.
Yeah, that would make sense. And also why she's after Luke.
Mm-hmm.
But this doesn't really have anything to do with this curse, does it? Unless that woman following us and this slave are the same person. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
A tale of revenge. How cliche. Oh, wow. However, with the lack of accurate photographs, it's impossible to tell. Maybe if I squint, the illustration would start resembling her. But in my field, it doesn't work that way. It shouldn't work that way. I'll be the laughingstock of the community.
This isn't going anywhere.
Mentally exhausted, I take a careful step away from the screen, pressing a palm to my tired eyes. The lack of ample light in this area doesn't help. A headache already threatens to form at the back of my head, yet I'm nowhere near figuring things out. This is simply too much to take in all at once.
I should have asked for someone's help.
Now I'm at a dead end. I start gathering everything around me and placing them back in their respective envelopes for storage. The motion's no longer new after volunteering here a number of times. I didn't make much of mess anyway, considering the lack of materials available to begin with. I'll have to look somewhere else. The where remains unknown, though. Oh, fucker. Okay. It's been an hour, so go ahead and take it away, Sign.
Oh boy, okay. But just as I'm about to slip the last of the slides in, something catches my attention. My hand pauses. The microfiche halfway through its protective sleeve. This is one of the few I've set aside without taking a careful look at. It seems like a gossip column at first glance, but upon a closer look, I slide it back to the reader, gently turning the dials in search of the page. It takes some time, but once the image becomes clear, Amangar here announces betrothal. They must have had this drawing commission for this announcement. I don't doubt it.
Yeah, they do look a lot like Hannah and Luke.
The details are far more intricate. Their likeness likely closer to how they might have appeared at the time. Wow, she had a very long hair.
Right?
They're both recognizable this way, closer to those paintings I've seen in the mansion. However, is the man standing beside her, Edward Godfrey, according to the article that caught my attention previously. Her first cousin, and eventually her fiancé.
Oof, no. I know they did
I
that back
mean,
then, but that's bad.
mm, maybe it's the posture, the manner in which he holds himself. Or maybe it's the shape of his eyes, though I can't be too certain about that until I've gotten a better reference. Nevertheless, there is a resemblance. He looks eerily like my head snaps up, glowering at whoever's running the floor above.
That just scared me.
Mm. Any day I'd march upstairs and reprimand whoever it is.
This is a library, for heaven's sake.
But now it isn't the time. I've gotten what I need. Without wasting another minute, I hit the machine's print button for a copy of the page, while my other hand moves to put everything back into storage. A rugged exhale from me. Relief, perhaps? Or maybe this is already exhaustion. Regardless, soon I'm closing my eyes as I wait for the printer to finish, if only to stave off a headache building up from everything.
No.
Oh God, stop, please. Sometime I've even began humming the same song again, for comfort. We'll have nightmares about the London Bridge now.
Right? It always was a creepy song, but like, geez. Okay, so it just
I did.
shows this.
I didn't consider it a creepy song until now.
Oh, I mean, if you think about the lyrics, it's not really appropriate for kids to be singing about a bridge coming down and all that.
Yeah, now that you mention it, you have a point.
Like, even the Ring Around the Rosie song is bad too. Talking about
Oh
ashes,
no.
ashes, we all burned down or something.
Yeah, I still have nightmares because there's a game called Plague Inc. Evolved has Ring Around the Roses,
Oh
and it's
boy.
creepy in
Yeah.
that game.
Why are so many children's songs creepy?
I don't know. Despite my doubts about this, despite all the tension in my shoulders, this may be a small find, but at least I can start somewhere. We can start somewhere. There's a way of this. I know it. The printer sputters to a halt.
I have a bad feeling.
Same. However, its sound isn't what makes me snap my eyes open. And I cannot scream because my mom is near me. Oh God.
Oh no.
Oh God.
No.
Oh no, this is way too creepy.
Where did the people go? They were just there.
Yeah, same.
Oh god, that song.
Yeah, it's so distorted. And everything's red. Oh my God.
Oh.
A cheap brush of hair behind my back. Anna for something to suddenly watch itself while I take in my surroundings. Yeah, it is a nightmare fuel.
Um,
Jay,
Okay, I just had to adjust your volume because you got really quiet.
because my mother was near me and she was watching TV, but now she left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe she's a little upset because she doesn't understand what's going on.
Oh, did you tell her it's a scary game?
No, I mean, I didn't explain to my parents about streaming because
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't know how to explain it. It's a suffocating sensation again. Creeping to every part of me, crawling out of my skin, draining me little by little of its strength. I watch you say please watch me play video games, lol. The thing is, I'm not the one playing the game. Senpai is.
Yeah.
From that day in the mansion, from that brief moment at the school, God, another creepy song, the background music,
Yep.
not coming. Without delay, I grabbed the papers and made a quick beeline for the door. Oh no.
Oh no!
No. Oh gosh, she's on the ceiling.
No!
Oh god, the sounds are back. Ugh,
Oh, I hate this.
same. My whole body freezes.
What are you doing, Miss Pink?
Oh, why she
Oh,
gotta use
God.
Kylie's voice? Oh my god.
Oh hell no. I hold my breath, not daring to make any noise. For a little while, only the sound of papers. Is her hair moving?
Yeah.
For a little while, only the sound of people scrambling under my grass filled the room. The excitement from earlier, gone instantly. Replaced by a cold, seeping dread spreading throughout my limbs. Ghost, where are you going, little Missy? Thought you wanted to learn more about me? But more than the fear is the anger. It pains me to hear her using my own student's voice against me, and more than once I believe it was really her. He has no right.
Why don't you play with me?
I would just love for just once one of y'all to fight back against this witch.
Same. Or just yell at her.
Yeah.
Although she hasn't made a move. If there isn't a wall behind me, I'll probably take a step back. Anything to put a distance between us, no matter how small, as long as I'm out of her reach. But I steer myself. Because if I do fall back, turn away from her, I'd be left with no way out. I'm not dying here.
God, you know there's probably a quick time event. I'm worried.
Yeah, because you didn't put keep this time event.
I'm gonna try, but if I fail, at least they let me replay it.
Mm-hmm.
You think you scare me?
Yeah, get her, Rebecca.
Get up!
Miss Pink, don't be so rude. I'm waiting.
Oh,
I'm not afraid of you, you spook! This is one Scotswoman you aren't getting into an early grave without a fight!
Yeah, get her.
so sassy.
Yeah.
Come at me!
Love it.
I speak to children. Prove to me what a monster she is. Instead, oh, she gives me a smile, twisted and snark. Oh god. It's as if time has crawled to a stop at the sight of it. A split-second decision. And before I know it, my body shifts. Eyes closing in anticipation, and grabbing whatever solid enough from the nearby table and hurling it at her. Hit her with the book.
Yeah, you said it earlier, book foo, right?
Yes. I don't bother looking if whatever I throw hit its mark. Hit her with the combo. I run as fast as my legs can carry me. Despite my heart threatening to burst out of my chest. But in this maze of bookshelves, with the whole place almost void of people, is there even a place safe enough where I can escape?
I mean, obviously I'd head for the door.
Yeah, that.
I'm kind of worried. Because it feels like if we go upstairs, you know, that defeats the purpose of escaping the building. What do you think?
But is there a door below?
Because I know we're on the second floor. And I mean, they're showing that exit, so I'm just wondering why she's not just running for the exit, you know?
Worst case, she intercepts you.
Yeah. I feel like if we go upstairs, though, I mean, where else are we gonna go from there? We'll be on, like, the top floor.
Wait, are we in the second floor? I thought we were in the, like, basement.
No, we're on the second floor. But I know there's a
Oh.
third floor because she said she heard somebody running around up there. I saved
Yeah.
Twin. I think we should just head for the door.
Yeah, head for the door. I hope we don't die.
Yeah.
If there's one, it's out of this room. If there is one, it is out of this room, out of this place, as far away as anyone can get from her. I can think about the rest of what I can do after I'm outside, when there are other people I can ask for help. When she's not chasing after me like this. There's no hesitation in my steps as I race for the restricted section's door, head downstairs, and barrel straight for the library's exit. Ah, okay. Towards safety, in a desperate bid for my life. Library rules be damned. I can no longer hear her behind me, but I'm not taking any chances. A breath almost escapes me as I near the door. A little more. When out of nowhere, a library card carrying from a blind corner and slams to my sides.
Oof.
My back hits the floor with a hard thud, the impact completely knocking the breath out of me.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, I think we're getting a game over.
Oh
The
boy.
copper tank of blood gradually spreads over my tongue as I fight to get my bearings back. I force myself to move, even with the excruciating pain coursing through my limbs. The exit is almost there. If only I can. But there's no moment's respite.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
The next thing I know, there's heavy weight atop me and cold digits slide around my neck, tightly like a vice, pressing, closing in, leaving me gasping for air.
Oh my god. This is horrible.
God, I hate this. Throughout my blurred vision, I can only make out the hateful gleam, the spite in her eyes as she looms over my body and her grip on my throat grows tighter. Desperation kicks in. My nails dig into her wrist as I struggle against her firm grip, trying to pry her fingers away.
Let go. Let me go.
Oh, quick time event. Keep the slider within the green bar by moving the mouse in the arrow's direction.
Oh, I didn't understand. Oh, I failed.
Yeah, too strong. Her hold on me is too strong.
I was trying to keep the mouse like in the green area, but I think I had to move it further in order to move the arrows. Oof.
Yeah. My lungs begin to ache, burning with the lack of air. The pain growing worse with every second I arrive under her punishing grip.
Somebody help me.
Darkness starts to fill the edges of my vision. And soon the world fades.
Rip.
What? A rip? Game over.
Sorry, guys. Okay, I'll try it again. Hopefully I can... I don't know if my mouse is too sensitive or not sensitive enough. It just wasn't moving like I thought it would. Okay, let me try again. Oh, God. Yay,
Yes.
we did it!
Daredevil. I don't think twice. My limbs are moving on their own before what I did fully register in my brain. My lungs could recover.
How did we get her off us? Did we hit her with something?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Behind me, she lets out a cry, sharp, loud, and thunderous against the empty walls of the library. But the fear her wells bring compares nothing to the relief washing over me when I finally make it out.
We
We
s-
slap the taste out of her mouth.
Okay, that works.
Mm.
Yay, we did it! Quick escape.
Yay! My knees buckle as soon as my feet hit leaving. The surface cold and hard against my skin. I've only been in there for a few hours. About 1 or 2 probably. I don't know anymore. It feels like an eternity all the same. My breathing hasn't slowed down yet. I don't expect it to after going through that. I probably look the most undignified creature on a Saturday morning right now. Out of breath, disheveled, long hair with a bloody lip and all. But at present, simply can't bring myself to care. Even when a few passers-by start giving me a strange look. Stare at me all you want. I don't give a single shit.
I mean, that was really scary having her actually attack us like that.
Mhm.
But I think if we had gone upstairs, we would have been even worse. Because at least we were
Yeah.
able to make it out after a QTE. I think if we went upstairs, there was no way to go.
Mhm. I'm alive. I'm safe. This isn't the end yet, but I'm safe. And inside my bag is something that could get us out of this mess. Nothing definite yet. I don't want to get my hopes up. It's still something. If Isabella is here, I'm sure she'll feel the same. She'll even be the first one who'll put her faith on it. Yeah, but going through a window and
And the 3rd floor up, that's a big fall.
Wherever this leads us to is a victory on its own. Now all that's left is to find the others, the rest of us trapped in this bloody nightmare. Right on cue, as if an answer to my previous thought, my mobile phone lets out a beep. I pick it up, simply hoping it'll be one of them. Only it's a voicemail that greets me. From Ashton. There's a pang of disappointment, of course, which brings some reassurance that nothing's happened to at least one of them.
Hey, Becca, call me back when you're free. We need to talk. ASAP.
He ends it right there. The message, less than a minute long, curt and gives nothing away. I let it ease my worries regardless, and do as he asks, because this too is another triumph for us. One less thing to worry about.
Okay,
Oh
yeah.
god.
That she survived, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
Yay! Finally!
Yay! We made it to Ashton's chapter! Woohoo!
Yay!
Alright.
Ashton Ash Frey. Birthday December 20th, Capricorn.
I think it's
Hey,
26.
like my mom. 29 years old. Height 5.5, 104 centimeters. No, wait, 164.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the 6s look like zeros. They're weird.
Occupation Detective Inspector. Nationality American Japanese. Religion Christian. Non-practicing. Education Bachelor's degree in Forensic Science. Lies. Oh god, it's so small.
Taiyaki ice cream?
Yeah, Shirley, Ophelia, all-time me action movies and thrillers, kart racing, jazz and swing, Sherlock Holmes, justice.
Sherlock Holmes, yes!
Yes. There was little love between his parents, and though he grew up privileged, he found little joy in student life. He saw the standard testing system as a chance to and considers his popularity among his peers to be an annoyance. Rebecca was the only one he considered a friend in Saint Goretti, and he was no better when he went into university. If anything, his indifferent outlook got worse with his parents' divorce. He initially took law but was quickly disillusioned by how heavy-handed and abused the system was. Forensic science, on the other hand, became fascinating for him. He served a brief time as a police officer before he applied to join Luxburn's Criminal Investigation Department. Early on, he was too eager to deal out justice, but his
Numerous.
but his numerous years in service became quite a learning experience for him. Now, as a detective inspector, he's been assigned to his biggest case yet.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was so
Hard to
so
read,
small.
yeah.
I had to,
The font doesn't help.
yeah.
But oh my gosh, I can't believe we finally got to his chapter.
Yes, finally, after all those years.
Right?
It's been 84 years.
Yes, it has.
Parties have never been really my thing. They're always such a hassle and take so much time off my day. Prior plans and commitments cancelled. All for the sake of playing along with others.
Welcome everyone.
Okay, so we're starting him from this point, huh? Okay.
Yeah, with the housewarming party. Okay.
So I guess that means really that nothing spooky happened to him up until now.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky.
Yeah. I wonder how long his chapter will be.
Yeah.
I hated them even as a child.
Please make yourselves at home.
But Mom often insisted. She'd slick my hair back, put me in one of those stuffy dinner jackets, and if there were any children around, urge me to make friends. Never mind how utterly loud or tedious it was all for the sake of keeping up appearances. To some extent, lies have already surrounded me, long before I've chosen what I wanted to do with my life. Luckily, there were easy ways to tune everyone out, and much to my mom's frustration, I always managed to sneak my CD player along. I kept to myself and to my music, had my own little world, until I learned to observe. It's a simple matter of awareness, really. And for someone with keen eyes, a skewed necktie or a simple flick or wrist alone could tell volumes about a person. I still don't like parties, especially ones as big and fancy as the Wright's housewarming. However, there's actual reason to go to them, I figure. They're not too bad.
Be careful with Shirley, alright?
Besides, like it or not, it's all part of the job. I'm here on a mission.
Is Shirley his car?
Maybe.
Because in his profile it says he likes Shirley. And right now
Yeah.
he just arrived and he said someone take care of Shirley. So I'm thinking it's his car. Like Sherlock Holmes Shirley, huh?
Mm-hmm. One that has the name Look Right plastered all over it. Do you think the man would want to remain inconspicuous after his name was linked to several high-profile crimes across Luxburn? Oh god.
Is Luke like a criminal mastermind? What?
Granted, most of you have gone cold over the years, having stagnated without any lead or evidence. But that still doesn't make him any less suspect. Yet here he is, throwing a party in his own backyard. Although, having observed the man this past year, I'm not even shocked. He craves it, the damn spotlight, constantly yearns for attention like a neglected puppy. It doesn't take a genius to figure out why he's nowhere to be found in his own party. But that's not a problem here. What pisses me off is how far his reach extends, how close he has crept into the lives of the people I care about. Again, like a stubborn itch you couldn't be rid of. First, Professor Clark. Then there's Isabella. I also spotted Z-Man here a while ago. Now there's also Rebecca. Apparently.
Ashton?
Becca, what are you doing here?
Look at the surprised face of him.
Hmm?
Surprise,
Cute.
Pikachu!
I was invited.
Really? I had no idea you were friends with the host.
That explains things and makes this difficult all the same. His eyes though. As if getting a contact among the staff to sneak a name into the guest list isn't hard enough. The guy almost dished me last night and might face another setback on my investigation if it wasn't for my generous tip. Then here comes Rebecca, another person to mind.
Well, it's my parents, actually. But that's beside the point. What are you doing here? You hate parties.
I still do. I'm just here on behalf of a friend.
A necessary lie. I can't bring my own friends into this any further than what they've found themselves in.
See, I know he's trying to protect her, but she takes everything so personally she gets upset.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, I don't think they're compatible at all. I really think he's better with Isabella.
Mm-hmm. Because if Luke writes so much as harms a hair on either Zach's or Rebecca's head, there will be hell to pay. Worrying about Isabella's brief dealings with him is stress in itself already. I doubt he'll attempt anything in front of other people though. It would tarnish his glorious reputation and he values appearances more than anything. That doesn't necessarily mean he isn't capable of it, more than in fact. And on the off chance he does something, I wouldn't be responsible for my actions.
Ooh, Ash gonna fight.
That's rare. Do you have someone with you then?
Nope, just me. I won't be staying long.
Smooth, please. I'm sure you tip very well.
Oh, well, if that's the case, maybe you and I can.
For Zach's and Rebecca's sakes, however, I really hope this simply be another housewarming.
It's funny because Ash already reminds me a little bit of Sherlock because, you know, he has someone who obviously has feelings for him right in front of his face, and yet, as observant as he claims to be, he's like oblivious.
Hmm.
So sad.
And I still haven't read any of Sherlock Holmes' books.
Ah, you have to. It's so good. But if they're too boring, then you could always watch some of the movies or some.
It's not that they're boring or such. It's that I get distracted by games.
Yeah, I totally feel you. This whole weekend I was supposed to be reading, but I've been too busy with Fire Emblem.
Even though something tells me it's anything but. Call it a detective's intuition or whatever. When Luke Wright's involved, nothing good has ever come out of it. I can't let my guard down here.
I hope you're right, Twin. I hope he named his gun after Sherlock as well.
Even more so when a familiar car slows to a stop and out comes.
Chief?
Oh. My presence here might be odd at best, but I have an excuse. One that this man handed to me himself a year ago, along with a heavy dose of flattery for the newly promoted detective inspector. Can't exactly say the same for my good old boss, can I? Although, to see him here, chatting it out with Lux Barnes, rich and famous, isn't such a big surprise in itself. No disrespect meant, but the guy's obviously a social climber.
And it's just weird how he acted after his wife did what she did. Like, he was really calm about it.
Yeah. What is surprising is the fact that he seems all too eager to mingle with the person of interest's wife.
Oh, you're talking about that new game that came out? I thought about it, Smooth. I thought about it. But I have so much LPs on my hand right now, I don't have time.
Just what the hell is he doing here?
Ashton, what's...
Sorry, Becca. I need to... There's something I need to check for a bit. I'll talk to you later. Do you have a ride home?
No, I had to take a cab here. My car wouldn't start this afternoon. But what about...
Also, the Pichu icon is really adorable.
Yeah, that's cute.
What the crap is going on here?
I told you to get that old thing checked before, didn't I? You can head back with me after this. Anyway, I gotta go. See ya. Be careful, okay?
Hey, be careful! About what exact...
I don't want to draw attention to myself either. At least not until he's given me proper reason to spoil his little party.
Thank you for the invite, Anna. Husband still missing, I see.
I should be saying the same of your darling Rochelle, Lee. The doctors again?
For now, the best I can do is wait and remain inconspicuous, especially with Chief here, whose motives are dubious at best. If it means having to pretend I don't know Zack and Rebecca, forcing myself to rub elbows with people I barely know, let alone like, then so be it. I can't involve anyone. Wandering is out of the question as well, when there are guards in CV stationed here and there. Sure, getting past them is something I could do with ease, but I'd rather not right now, when I'm one of the few snooping and roaming about. It'd be best to try and do so once there's a crowd of people. And if their interior designers' drunken claims are to be believed...
Yes, well, what about Luke? Should we file a missing persons report now, or do you want to wait 24 hours?
He's around.
You know, I can tell if someone's bluffing.
It'll all come down to how well I'll play my cards tonight. With a good hand, this party is going to give me the breakthrough I need to crack Luke right, or something to prove my suspicions wrong. Maybe find out what kind of game my boss is also playing. I had an inkling before, a few hunches tempered down by how much of a bumbling fool the man appears. But one does not simply deal with the rights and get invited to a party they host without wanting anything from either of the two. Or is the other way around? So, with a last wary glance at the two, I head into the ballroom. I just hope this will not complicate things further. Crap. By the time the party is in full swing, night has fallen, yet there still isn't a look right in sight. The man can be quite ostentatious, but this? Frankly, I'm impressed. I don't even know how many hors d'oeuvres I've already stuffed my face with. Oh, that looks nice.
They'd like to torture us with food pics here.
One too many, probably. The servers are already giving me a stink eye every time I saunter over the buffet table. Blame your employer, not me. He's the one who has the guts to show up late.
Yep.
Besides, most of the guests' idle talk is concentrated in this area, despite standing under the same roof with the very people they're whispering about. Some just couldn't resist. I might as well keep an ear out for any useful info.
Is Suarez still fixing that tech problem?
Okay, the last name Suarez is Kylie's last name, so I guess they're talking about her dad.
Yeah, I guess the same.
Tech problem.
It's been 3 years. Sooner or later, the Blighter will put 2 and 2 together.
He might have already.
If the red tape I'm being slammed with these past few months suggests anything, wait, what happened?
I'm thinking that Kylie's dad must be involved with whatever criminal issues that Luke is causing.
Oh. That or someone has been pulling the strings.
But it sounds like they must have like somebody high up helping to protect them for now. So maybe it's the chief himself, huh?
I wouldn't be shocked. This case would not have gone this long. This scumbag didn't have a mule of some kind in the force.
Shush you, we all know Suarez just wants an out.
I knew he was bad news the day the merger with Evans Incorporated happened.
Feh, glad I did not have to deal with that.
But keep it down, someone might hear. The wife especially.
These accents.
This kind of negligence has always been an advantage, but sometimes I wish I could be smash drunk while doing this. Having sharp ears also means you get to hear the most unsavory things. Who cheated on who this week? One person's motive for bashing someone's skull against a wall, or a father's excuse for burning his own daughter alive, that sort of stuff.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
After a few years, gets tiring. You get desensitized to it.
Smooth would like it if I LP the newest Sherlock Holmes game. You think I would enjoy it as well? I mean, I'm sure I would. I'm a big fan of Sherlock Holmes. I have a whole bunch of those games that I haven't played. I'm still disappointed about that one I tried to stream a couple weeks ago, and it clearly didn't work out, so maybe someday soon I will play another Sherlock Holmes game for you guys.
But humans could also be downright awful. Sometimes there simply isn't enough brain bleach in the world. Oh god. Sadly, the wine is a no-go tonight, and mostly for show. I'm off for another drive later. And I definitely want to be sober in case anything comes up. And something always comes up in assignments like this. A detective inspector dying of cardiac arrest, for example. Uh-oh. Because I can feel the moment my heart grinds to a halt, the second I shift my eyes to a corner of the ballroom. Oh
Hana
no.
Wright.
Oh. Not yet.
No.
Some will say I'm acting a touch bit paranoid, and maybe I am. This is a party and she's the hostess. It goes to say that she'll take time to mingle with her guests. But Hannah Wright Nee Evans isn't without her fair share of accolades. At least to the public, she doesn't seem like it. Unlike her husband, she's the one with the business sense, not to mention the impressive track record needed to manage a company, or effectively hide whatever irregularity there might be.
So he's suspicious of her. Oof.
Oh god. She's clean, quote-unquote, as far as my agents and I have found. It doesn't rule out a possible involvement with whatever her husband's up. Hell, Luke Wright came out clean in previous reports until I bothered to take a deeper look into it. What I found may not be sufficient to bring anyone to trial, yet it's enough to nurture suspicion. This may be a bit of an overreaction. No one lasts long in my line of work by being careless.
You would catch his eye a lot better if you wore nicer clothes, don't you think?
Oof.
Didn't realize the housewarming was going to be this fancy. I would have gone with a nice dress if I knew.
Nothing to be worried about then.
Ah, so he conveniently missed the part where they're talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, they're just doing regular gossip. No big deal.
Yeah. She's probably even more careful with appearances than her own husband, having grown up with the spotlight focus on her. Yet, even knowing that the anxiety state has been here since the party started, I've brushed it off earlier. Who wouldn't feel edgy, right? I've gone undercover in a party hosted by the very person I'm investigating. That in itself is risky and has plenty of rooms for error. Usually though, the tension passes around the first half hour or so. I've been trained to remain composed in situations like this. However, with each second I spend here, it only grows heavier and seeks to overwhelm. An odd feeling that someone is watching me instead.
Yeah, Rebecca and Hannah are looking at you.
Mm-hmm. It has been like this since last week, but I should already be used to this. Maybe the ghost?
Maybe.
People people would be looking at me, no matter how small or big of a blimp I am on their radar. That's what they do in these things.
Wouldn't it be funny if the ghost has been like after him all this time, like popping up everywhere, and he just hasn't noticed her?
Yeah.
He's like, dang it, what do I gotta do to get you to notice me?
Notice me, senpai. But when the feeling of ice burning into my back lingers longer than necessary, I've been looking around every now and then to catch the culprit. No luck. And despite my efforts to push the sensation as far down as I could, tiny pinpricks continue to sting the back of my head and the ghost of a cold touch creeps up my limbs.
Okay, it has to be her. I thought I heard like a slight hint of her creepy whispering.
Yeah, I thought that was hearing thing.
Yeah, I hear it.
Good to know I wasn't the only one. Until my gaze switches back to Rebecca and Hannah Wright. She probably doesn't want to chat with Holmes. Oh!
Okay, so he does finally see her. It was weird how I think it was Hannah's chapter that we saw this, and then in Rebecca's it's like she didn't notice her at all, and yet here apparently Ashton sees her.
Yeah. She stands there, dark hair and dirty, sticking out like a sore thumb. Even so, no one seems to notice.
I'm kind of not happy, and I'm wondering why they have Hannah drinking wine, unless she didn't know she was pregnant at this point.
Or maybe that isn't wine?
Maybe. I hope not.
Because if it is wine, that's... Then again, we don't know if she found out or not.
Yeah.
Although she's looking away from me, her mere existence here strikes. Oh god, the whispers. Disturbs. A sense of tunnel vision binds while I stand stock still and gape at her. Like my life depends on making sure she stays where she is. I feel trapped in her presence until another guest bumps into me, yanking me out of my stupor. Only then do I realize that I've been holding my breath. Before I could figure out what happened, she's gone. A quick scan of the room yields no sign of her. The party continues as if nothing's amiss.
Then this has to be why when Rebecca and him were talking, he kind of seemed like he was less skeptical of it than before.
I'm not really one to judge, but I'm sure someone like that would not have been alone in a fancy thing like this. What has the security been doing? Are they really that incompetent for someone so distinct to easily get in without notice? There should have been an outcry by now, particularly from the host. She's been standing almost an arm's length away from the woman, and yet she simply continues her talk with Rebecca.
Oh, the professor!
Yeah, I really don't know how she just continues the conversation like nothing just happened.
Yeah, something fishy.
And your little Becky!
My parents couldn't make it since they're in Scotland right now. And Mom says hi, by the way.
Is there something in the food then that I'm starting to see things? It couldn't have been the wine though. I'm every bit as sober as when I first stepped off my car. The Ars d'oeuvre? But why would anyone want to do that? Why would Luke Wright want to do that? He's fishy. I couldn't see why he'd ever think it'd be a good idea to lace the food he'd serve in this party with someone like Chief Lee on his guest list. He has been linked to narcotics trade, yep. However, that kind of tactic is below him. That much I could tell.
Wow.
Oh wow.
I'm
Yeah, no,
shocked.
he didn't lace anything. Unless there's a mass murder waiting to happen here tonight, which I highly doubt. So,
What the fuck was that?
To be fair, if I saw something that only I can see, I would play it off as well. Don't want to look like a crazy person. I mean, you got a point.
but there's no time to look deeper into this, even if I want to. Not even a deadly silence comes upon the room and draws everybody's attention to the main doors of the ballroom.
About damn time.
Not when.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Enjoying the party?
Oh my
I
god,
hope I'm
his
not too
name
late
is
in
come
welcoming
back.
you all to
Yeah.
the right mansion.
I've been tailing this guy for a while now. Before that, I heard stories from previous officers who tackled this case, none which are pleasant. Mind, I'm not counting the incident with Professor Clark yet. Pleasant is glossing over the gravity of it.
I'm eager
I
to
for-
know what that story is.
Yeah, I forgot who Professor Clark is.
The Professor Andrew, the one we saw earlier.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he's like a mentor to Rebecca and Ash.
While Red's good at covering whatever shady stuff he's doing, he's shown to be a really rotten guy. At least, that's the case when he thinks none of his peers are around to judge him. I've lost track of how many counts of verbal abuse and harassment cases the guy could have been with. He even tried to make a move on Isabella back in the open house, right in front of his wife.
Yeah.
Standing in the same room as him doesn't make me want to punch him any less. Actually, the urge is stronger, but protocols, my case first and foremost. My own opinion of the man shouldn't get ahead of my purpose here. Yeah, something will happen.
Yeah, when it's so quiet.
If I want to put him in his place, it should be in a court, with all proper charges filed against him. And I'll only be able to do that once I gather enough evidence to pin this bastard down.
Welcome, one and all, to our humble abode. Tonight, if you have yet to find yourself in your roles, you are our ladies and lords of the court of your king and queen, if you would excuse my presumptuousness. So, enjoy the feast that has been laid out for your senses, as we only allowed the best to be served. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone!
Suppressing my annoyance, I prepare to step away from the crowd. Amidst the cheers and claps, now is as good a time as any to try to find that something the McCulloch woman talked about.
I don't remember what something he's talking about.
I don't either. In the first place, I have no plans to actually shake hands with the slime ball himself. Hey, slimes are cute.
Yeah.
A fake smile is plastered on my face, while I pretend to listen to one of the other guests gossiping about him. All while slowly inching out of the ballroom. Unfortunately, before I could get any further, uh-oh.
Are you feeling ill, Rochelle?
Uh-oh.
Perhaps you need to sit down and...
Rich people only have two ways to resolve their mess. Either they quietly deal with it behind closed doors, or they create an even greater problem out of it, and it just blows up in everybody's faces, one way or another. Fun.
No! Shut it, you munter! I ain't talking to you! I'm talking to this scumbag over here! You bloody bastard standing there with your smarmy smile!
Not even a few seconds in, and this is already proving itself to be a big public spectacle. Why spend money on a television to buy daytime soap operas? You could just go to one of these parties and see the action unfold in real life. You get free food too! Yes, free food sounds tempting. Really, if I were an actual guest, I'd just take this as some sordid form of amusement.
I mean, if this kind of thing happened in front of me in real life, I'd be so uncomfortable.
Same.
Watch your tongue! You're on thin ice, Rochelle. Where's your husband? Who even invited you?
But I'm not a guest who's here for a good time. I need to focus on him, even throughout this whole I need to focus on him, even through this whole sorry tale. So I wait, I listen, I observe. Interesting, isn't it, though? That's the chief inspector's wife.
Yeah, where is the chief?
I'll literally be the Michael Jackson eating popcorn.
Alright, I wasn't expecting, I thought it'd show him, like, sneaking off to inspect the, to investigate the mansion or something, but it didn't show anything else, so I guess that's it for that day. Alright, we're gonna call an end to the stream here for today.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for coming on and watching. Glad we got through Rebecca's chapter and we began Ashes, and that we survived the